Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for, well, actually, I'm back for another stream. As you've noticed, Jordan is not here today for the stream as he had a commitment that he has to go to. So it's just me on my own today. But yeah, it is the FPL deadline stream for Game Week 30. I'm going to discuss the fixtures, what my transfers are this week. As you can see, I've already done it. And we'll just go ahead and talk about all the main talking points, really. So, as you guys can see on the screen, that's what my team is looking like ahead of Game Week 30. I'll just quickly read it out for you. So, in goal, I have gone with Dubravka, who's got West Ham at home. Obviously, Areola is my bench goalie who plays Newcastle. So, my goalies are playing against each other this week. But I'm going to go Dubravka because he's got the home fixture. In the back three, I am playing Pedro Porro against Luton, Zabani, who's got Everton at home, and then Gabriel, who's currently flagged. But I believe Gabriel should be fit to face Man City on Sunday. So I'm happy to play Gabriel. If not, I'll just get Doughty off the bench. In the midfield five, Palmer, who's got Burnley at home. I've got Douglas Luiz, Wolves at home. I've got Salah, who's got Brighton at home. And then I've got Maddison and Son, who have Luton at home. So all home fixtures for my midfield. So the midfield's looking good. As you can see, I've took Ross Barkley out and I've bought in Mo Salah. And that was my transfer this week. I've already done it because Salah's price rise, I went early. And Salah is my captain as it stands, with Son with my vice captaincy. I'll have to see if I do change my captaincy around later on. But at the moment, I am leaning towards Salah as captain. And then up front, I've got Tony, who's got Manchester United at home, and then Watkins, who's got Wolves at home as well. So I've only got one away fixture in the team this week, and that is Gabriel against Man City. So I think the team looks pretty good. Obviously, I've still got the wild card in my pocket. I was considering wild carding this week, but when I look at my team, I don't feel like I need it to bring in a Chelsea defender or something like that. So I think I can go Game Week 31 now and wild card next week, or midweek, I should say, instead. So I'm happy with the way the team looks. On the bench, I've got Areola, Morris, Doughty, and Taylor as well. And I've done the move, and I've now Barkley up to Salah leaves me with 8.4 million in the bank as well. So I've got a whole lot of money in the bank. The only other thing I could do, I could take a -4 to take Tony out for someone like Darwin. Would you guys do a -4 for Darwin? Let me know, guys, in the chat. At the moment, I'm leaning towards just keeping Tony in the team. So yeah, that is what the lineup looks like. Let me know, guys, what you guys are planning as well in terms of your transfer moves as well. A lot of football, a lot of games actually today. 8 fixtures today. So yeah, it's quite a lot of games. Should be good. A lot of 3 p.m. kickoffs. I'm going to pull up the fixtures as well in a sec. But yeah, guys, also make sure you do hit that like button when you're coming into the stream. Also, make sure you are subscribing as well. Hit that subscribe button, guys, if you're new around here, if you're watching for the first time. But yeah, I mean, I'm fairly set up. In terms of chip strategy, I have landed on the chip strategy already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Game Week 31 wildcard next week. Next game week, I'm going to free hit in Game Week 34. And then I'm going to bench boost in Game Week 37. That's the plan, guys, at the moment. Obviously, I've still got my 3 chips left. We've got Jenny Berry in the chat. Hi, Haas. Thoughts on Saka to Son? It depends on your chip strategy, Jenny, because if you've still got a wild card left and things like that, then you could do it. If you're going to free hit 34 as well. But I like Son this week. Obviously, he's got Luton at home, whereas Saka has Man City. So I'd prefer having Son this week. But then again, Saka has Luton next week. So I personally would want both. I wouldn't want to take out Saka. I think Saka now is a long-term hold. He also doubles in 34, so you're going to want him in Game Week 34 double. So I wouldn't want to be taking out Saka. I still think he can get something against Man City. We know he's on penalties as well. So, yeah, even though I don't own Saka myself, I am wildcarding next week. So I'm going to wildcard Saka back in. So that's why, for me, it will work out still next week. I'd want to keep Saka because he's got a good fixture in 31. Carl Pedersen, who would you bench between Saka, Maddison, Foden, Son, Palmer, Muniz, Watkins, and Tony? So it's between the midfield 5 or 3 attackers. I wouldn't want to bench Saka, Maddison, Foden, Son. I wouldn't bench Palmer. Just looking at the fixtures, Muniz. Who has Muniz got? Muniz has got a nice fixture against Sheffield. I don't want to bench Muniz. That's quite a tough one. Maybe Tony against Man United. It's a home fixture. It's a tough one. Yeah, maybe Tony. Or Foden even against Arsenal. I'm not sure if Foden's going to play in the wing. But I'd go Tony, I think. Just. It's a tough one, though. And also, guys, let us know in the comment who you're captaining and chip strategy as well. What chip strategy you're on, because that will depend on your transfer. So before you make any transfers, weigh up what your chip strategy is and make your transfers with your chip strategy in mind, if that makes sense. Also, another thing to consider, obviously, this week I want to talk about is captaincy, because captaincy is such a debate this week because, there's a few options that you can go for because Salah's got Brighton at home. Son's got a nice fixture against Luton at home. There's people on Palmer as well with Burnley at home. I think those 3 are the most popular picks. So let us know, guys. Or are you with someone completely different than those 3 I've mentioned? Andrew D, morning. Yeah, morning, Andrew. Free hit 34, bench boost 37. Already done Doherty and Bowen to Gusto and Salah for a -4. Have money now for Morris to Haaland for another hit. Worth it. Would allow me to bench Gabriel or Zabani. Salah cap, says Andrew. I like the 2 moves you've gone for the -4. I think getting Salah in is a good move. Morris to Haaland for a hit. I mean, I wouldn't want to play Morris personally. Who's got Spurs. So it could be worth it for a hit, but I mean, I'm playing Tony this week, so you could just play Morris and see what he does. I mean, I wouldn't expect too much from Morris against Spurs away. So yeah, I mean, it depends. Would you want to take another -4, which some people might not want to do. And benching Gabriel, I think Gabriel's fine to play. He does have a bit of goal for it. I don't expect Arsenal to keep a clean sheet against Man City. I do think they'll concede, but I'm playing Zabani against Everton myself. So I think Salah cap is a good shout as well because I'm on Salah cap as well. Caceres, hi. Any news if Gabriel or Saka is playing? Also, what's everyone's opinion on Salah and Son captaincy? In regards to Gabriel and Saka, Arteta is quite secretive about his players and if they're fit to play or not. He doesn't like to share too much information in regards to injuries, but I believe Saka and Gabriel will both start against Man City on Sunday. So as you can see, I'm starting Gabriel. I don't own Saka. If you've got Saka starting, I think he's fine to start. Hopefully you've got a decent cover on bench in the unlikely chance that he doesn't play. But I think Saka will be fine, guys, as well as Gabriel. And in terms of captaincy, yeah, it is a debate. I'm leaning towards Salah at the moment, but I think it's a tight one because I think it's a flip of a coin. Because I do think Son captaincy against Luton could be a good shout as well, especially with the rumors that Richarlison's back, but he may not start. So that means Son could play down the middle, which means a better threat, goal threat he becomes essentially because he's playing down that middle, Son. Also, let's have a look at the fixtures. Just bear with me for a sec, guys. First up, we've got Newcastle against West Ham, Areola versus Dubravka. For those like me who've got both the goalies, don't know what to expect from this game. I'll definitely be watching it because I haven't. Feels like ages since we've had Premier League football. So I expect the Newcastle win, but I think it'll be a tight game. Moving on to swiftly, when was the last fixture? So the last time we saw Premier League football was the 17th of March, which was also a West Ham game, which was now exactly 13 days ago. So hold on. Bournemouth Everton. I think that's going to be. I mean, I've got Zabani in that one. We'll see what happens. Should be a good game. So yeah, I don't know. I expect a draw in that sort of game. Chelsea Burnley. I'm excited for this one. I think Palmer. Let us know who's on the Palmer captaincy, guys, because Palmer's obviously got a good fixture this week. He's got Burnley, and I don't think Palmer's a bad shot. I know Jordan's on Palmer captaincy, so that could be decent. I think I'll be going with Son captaincy. Hope it pays off, says Caceres. So yeah, Son seems quite like a popular move. Anyone on Palmer at all? Not seen any Palmer shouts for captaincy. Forest and Palace. Don't really have any of their players, but don't expect a massive scoring game there, to be fair. Sheffield Fulham, again, Muniz up against that Sheffield defense. I think if you've got Muniz, I think he's a good pick. Could do well again. We know he's on a bit of a run of form at the moment. So I think Jordan's bringing Muniz in as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. We mentioned Spurs, Luton. If you've got the likes of Son, Maddison, who I've got, Brennan Johnson, Kulusevski, it could be a good game for Spurs. Obviously, they had a disappointing result against Fulham last game week, but we expect Spurs to bounce back, especially being at home now as well. Aston Villa Wolves, again, a lot of managers have sold Ollie Watkins, which might sound crazy, but I'm excited to see what Ollie Watkins can do against Wolves in my last week in my team, because I'm probably going to go without Watkins next week on the wild card. But yeah, he's got Wolves at home. I think it's a good fixture for him. And then we've got late kickoff today. We've got Brentford at home against Man United. Should be a good game. If you've got the likes of Garnacho, I've got Tony in that fixture, so I'll be looking out and see what Tony does. And then obviously we've got a couple of fixtures on Sunday, important games in the terms of the title race. We've got Liverpool playing Brighton next. Salah, prime captaincy option in that fixture as well. Likes of Van Dijk, Bradley as well. People have, I think, expect Liverpool to win, but it won't be an easy game for Liverpool against Brighton, I don't think. And then we got the big one Sunday evening. Man City at Arsenal, which is a huge game in terms of the title as well. And I think, it's going to be a cracker of a game. Saka, Haaland, Gabriel, all on a lot of our teams. So it'll be interesting to see how that game goes. So those are the fixtures for game week 30 so far. Switch it back over to my team. We've got Elliot in the chat. It says, yo, Huss. Hope you're well, Elliot. Also, guys, make sure you do smash a like on the stream as well if you're coming in. And also make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well. But yeah, I think it's a quiet game week for me in terms of decisions I've got to make, because I'm quite happy with the way I'm lining up, especially for someone who's not on a wild card or, didn't free hit last week either. I might do a poll. In terms of captaincy and see what you guys are on. I want to do that right now. Give me a sec, guys, while I pull up a poll. All right, guys, I'm going to put the poll in the chat right now. Just vote who you're captaining. There you go. It's in there. Put your votes in. Let us know. Are you on Son? Are you on Salah? Are you on Palmer? Or are you on someone else completely? Fernandez to Salah, De Bruyne to Garnacho for a -4. Wildcarding in 33. I think 33 is an interesting week to wildcard. I personally would prefer wildcarding in 35 or 31. I think if you can go without a wildcard till 33, then 35 could be decent. Have you got a free hit left as well, Elliot? It depends. If you've not got a free hit left, I would go with wildcard 35 personally. So you can load up on the doubles for 34 and then wildcard out of them in 35. But yeah, Fernandez to Salah looks like a good move. I think Salah is going to be a priority to have in your teams, guys, going forward. Because you look at Salah's fixtures, he's got 2 good fixtures coming up at home, Brighton and Sheffield. They both conceded goals, and he's potentially the best captaincy for both those game weeks. Then in 32, he's got Man United away. I want to Salah still has a good record against Man United, so I think that's a decent fixture for him anyway. After that is Palace at home, again, another game at Anfield for Salah in 33. And then it is a double game week in 34 with Fulham and Everton. So you probably want Salah for the rest of the season. And his ownership has rocketed now up to 30%. He's had 3 price rises already since game week 29 ended. It's now 13.2 million. He was 12.9, I believe. End of game week 29. But he's had 3 price rises, which is a bit mad, but there you go. Let's look at fixtures actually as well. Bear with me for a sec. Let me look at the fixture ticker. Hopefully you guys can see that a bit better. Also, in terms of the poll, I mean, Son's 50% of you. So a couple of you said Son. But yeah, in terms of the fixtures, actually, just got a comment here. Actually, Ayan says start Foden or Saka. If I had to pick, I think Saka, personally. But I'll go Saka just because penalties, and he's a talisman for Arsenal. But yeah, looking at fixtures, I think we're gonna have to look at that game in 34. And if you've not got a free hit in the back pocket, because a lot of you have used it in 29, then I'd want to bring in Liverpool players ahead of that double. And even afterwards, we know Chelsea and Spurs are probably going to double in 37 and 36. So you want to load up on Chelsea and Spurs after that as well, because they're going to have a double potentially. In terms of Aston Villa as well, it's an interesting one because a lot of us are going to go without Watkins, I think, coming forward, but I don't know if it's a good idea. When you look at the goals he's got, 16 goals, 15 assists for the season. I think he's got the most goal involvements of any player in the league as well so far. Fixtures, Wolves at home, I think is a good fixture. Then it gets a bit tricky. You've got City away, Brentford at home is a good fixture. Arsenal, again, I think it's a tougher fixture for him. Bournemouth at home in the double. He can easily get a couple of goals against Bournemouth, but a lot of us will go without him because we're going to have doublers in 34 on a free hit. I don't think I'll have Watkins, but It's a good single game week fixture. After that is Chelsea, Brighton, Liverpool, Palace. So, what's your opinions on Watkins, guys? Do you think he's a must own due to his form? Or do you think because he doesn't have any doubles left and the fixes are slightly tricky, you look at Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool in the last 8, would you be removing Watkins on a wild card if you were wild carding next week, or is he a season holder for you? Let us know in the chat what your thoughts are on Ollie Watkins. Start Pickford or Areola, says Ayan. Probably start Pickford. I mean, Pickford's got Bournemouth away. It's not great, but Areola's got Newcastle away as well. So I expect both of them to concede. So I'll probably just go Pickford. Maybe get you some save points. Even Douglas Luiz, obviously, I'm a Douglas Luiz owner myself, but he's definitely my last week in the team. After that, he won't be on my wild card. No way. I think I'm gonna have to get a Chelsea defender in soon, like Gusto, because we know Chelsea have 2 more double game weeks against Spurs and Brighton um to schedule in. So you want Chelsea players for 36 and 37 when they're going to potentially have some doubles. I mean, Gusto is going to be popular. Or even a Petrovic, the goalkeeper. If you want Jackson as well, if you want to take a bit of a risk, go different. I mean, Burnley at home you think is a good fixture for Chelsea. Man United or home after that. Sheffield, Everton, Arsenal, Villa, West Ham, Forest, Bournemouth, and then Spurs and Brighton to still schedule in. So they will be part of a double, probably against West Ham and Spurs. Double gaming in 36. It doesn't sound great, but it's still a double. And Brighton and Forest maybe in a double 37. Who knows? So we have to wait till the fixtures do come out, but we shouldn't have to wait too long for that. Currently doing Bowen to Son, captain this week, and then Foden and Watkins to Salah and Cunha for a -4. Yep, seems fine. Do you think Foden will start? Says Jenny. Yeah, I expect Foden to start. I would be surprised if he doesn't. So if you've got Foden and you have to start him, then I don't think he's a bad player to start. No free hit gaming 34. Yeah, so I do have a free hit in gaming 34 myself. So I definitely will be free hitting. And if we take a look at just bear with me for a sec, guys. I'll bring up the gaming 34 fixtures. We know the doubles from Arsenal. We know Chelsea double. Sorry, Chelsea don't double. My bad. Arsenal double. Wolves, Palace double. I'm looking at some Palace players as well for a differential. I don't know, maybe Eze, Elise if they're fit. If I want to go different, but yeah, I think if you've not got a free hit in 34, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think you can still get a decent team out, even if you don't have a free hit left for Game Week 34. Hamza says, "Do you think Bradley will start today? Oh, tomorrow, I should say. Yeah, Bradley. I expect him to start. I mean, Trent isn't expected to be back now until. I mean, Trent's going to miss that Brighton, Sheffield, and Man United game. It's looking like so. The next 3 game weeks, Bradley should be fine. And then I think game week 33 against Palace is when we see Trent make his start again into the first team. So I think if you've got Bradley the next 2 or 3 game weeks, I think you should be fine. It's just the only reason. So we know he's a young player. There will be natural rotation because Gomez can play right back and then Klopp can play Simicast left back because we know Robertson's out for a couple of games as well now. Currently walking back from the gym. I know it's unlikely, but has there been any lineup leaks, says Harry as well. So the early kickoff today is Newcastle West Ham. But as far as I can see, there's nothing so far. I mean, unless you want Newcastle news. Yeah, so nothing in terms of news. Jenny also says start Kelleher or Leno. So Leno has Sheffield, which is a good fixture, and Kelleher obviously has Brighton. It's a tough one. I'd probably go Leno. Probably go Leno, and then start Kelleher next week when he's got Sheffield. So you got two good goalies for the next 2 weeks there, Jenny. Playing them against Sheffield, which are probably the worst team in the league. That's fair to say. Even with Kelleher, I think you're fine to keep him for a couple of weeks now because Allison isn't back until I think 33. But Liverpool's injuries are sort of easing up now. Klopp did come out and say Jota and even Trent back soon. I think Jota was seen outside running, which is a massive boost to Liverpool's to the end of the season in terms of like obviously going for the league. Just seeing any team news, I don't think there is any. I think the only really tricky decision to make for my team this week was captaincy. Well, do I go Salah or Son? And I've just gone Salah. Um, but something tells me, I don't know. I feel like Son could have a big week against Luton. So I don't hopefully he doesn't punish me too much. So Luton's defense isn't great either. So that's it's a tough one, Salah, Son. Because I just feel like Luton's defense is bad. I think Luton's defense is. I mean, they do concede a lot of goals. Let's have a look. They conceded 4 goals to Bournemouth, Luton in 28, and then they conceded to Palace, they conceded to Forest, conceded 4 at Liverpool, conceded 3 at Villa. Let's have a look at Brighton. Brighton's lost 3-0 to Fulham. Lost 2-1 to Spurs. Drew to Everton. I don't think it's a. Don't know. The Salah and Son dilemma. I keep flipping between them. I might make a free hit 34 draft. See what my team's going to look like in 34, or even a wildcard 31 draft. So yeah, in terms of the poll, I've got 54% in the poll saying Salah captain, and then 31% on Son. No one's on Palmer, which is interesting. And then 15% have gone with other. Who's the other guys in the cap? Let us know who else you're captaining other than Son or Salah, or even Palmer, whoever voted. Um, Hold on. Do, 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 do. I actually can't wait to wild card as well. Now it's just the interesting part of the season. I think when I started playing my chips, hopefully I can break into that top 50k soon. When I start playing some chips like wild card, I've got a free hit as well, and then a bench boost, which a lot of us already have, to be fair. But I'm hoping the wild card can propel me. So yeah, last week I did get a red arrow when a lot of managers free hit. I had a pretty bad week in terms of the free, or in terms of the game week, obviously, but it wasn't too bad because obviously I got 20 points, so it's better than some free hitters got. Also, guys, make sure you do like the stream and also make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. Do, 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 do. Elliot says Garnacho or Sarabia for game week 30 to 34. Again, it depends on your chips. If you've got a chip, if you've got a free hit, I should say, then I do like if you've got a wild card, sorry, I should say I like Garnacho. If you've not got a wild card and you've not got a free hit either, I think you got to go Sarabia if you've not got a free hit. Because Sarabia doubles, I believe, in 34, doesn't he? Let's have a look. I think Sarabia does double. So yeah, Sarabia doubles in 34 against Arsenal and Bournemouth. So I think that's decent to bring him in ahead of that. Garnacho, on the other hand, doesn't double in 34. So if you're not free hitting, then I prefer Sarabia. But if you've got a free hit, like me, I would go Garnacho because Garnacho will have a double in 37, I believe. When Man United will have a double. So longer term, I think in that regard, I'd prefer a Garnacho. So again, it all comes down to chip strategy, guys. In any move you make, I think Sarabia is only good if you've got no free hit left. I'm probably going to have Garnacho in my wildcard team next week, just because I know Man United will have a future double in 37 potentially. I just have a feeling Watkins could go big this week. Switch it back over to my team. Oh, bear with me for a sec, guys. Hold on. I don't know. I think Watkins against Wolves could go big. And I think people that have sold Watkins on a wild card, yeah, that could be punishing for those that sold him. He's still so highly owned though, 55%. So I don't know. It's just a hunch that I have about Watkins this week. I feel like he could have a good week. Saka or Garnacho for this game week. For this game, we can actually prefer Garnacho against Brentford, but nah, you'd have to start Saka. I think you got to go Saka. He's on penalties. He can still score against Man City, even though it's a tougher fixture. I think if you've got Saka, there's no harm in playing him. Would it be worth to take a -8 for Salah and Cunha instead of Tony and Madison? I don't have any chips left. If you don't have any chips left, then if you can bring Salah in for a -4, I'd do it. I don't think it's worth selling a Maddison and a Tony, personally. I think Salah is important to have in your team, especially from next week as well, because next week Salah's got Sheffield, Anfield, so you'd want Salah regardless. So you're gonna want Salah regardless. He also had a double in 34. If you can, I think Salah's worth a -4. -8 could still be worth it. If you're leaning towards Salah captaincy, in the short term, it may not pay off, but in the longer term, you're gonna get a nice fixture in 31. You're gonna get a double out of him in 34. Longer term, Salah's definitely worth bringing in, even if it means we're a -4. -8, on the other hand, I mean, I don't like taking -8s personally, unless it's doubles and doubles, like if it's a double double, and then it could be worth it. But yeah, but Salah definitely, you want to bring him in soon, guys. Simo, Morocco Gaming, Pickford, Lascelles, Muniz, or Raya, Richards, Brantford. Is that on a wild card? Like, out of which ones you go for? I mean, I like the first ones. I think Pickford, Lascelles, Muniz. Which Richards is that? Is that Richarlison, or is that? I'm not sure who you mean by Richards. Let us know in the chat, Simo. Also, there's about 20 minutes to go for the deadline, so get your teams locked in, guys. We've got Elika FC in the chat. Huss, do you think Spurs will keep a clean sheet? I have you doggy to start, and Morris and Doughty on the bench, and feel like playing them. Just a feeling. I don't trust Spurs to keep a clean sheet, if I'm being honest, even though it's a home fixture. And we know Spurs should win that quite comfortably, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 3-1 Spurs, where Luton got a consolation goal. So, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you, Elika. I've benched Morris and Doughty as well, and I'm not playing them. I'd rather play Zabani, who's got Everton at home. I know that sounds mad. That might sound mad to people. Maybe I should play Doughty instead of Zabani, just because Doughty could get you an assist. But nah, I'm not sure about Luton. I don't think. I wouldn't want to play Morris personally, but I may be wrong. If you've got a gut feeling that Morris and Doughty might do well, go for it. But I don't see a clean sheet for Luton anyway. And in terms of Spurs, you never know. I mean, Spurs' defense isn't great either, but yeah, Luton could score. They could get one goal. I think if you're on a wild card, I mean, I like someone like Gusto at Chelsea. Fixtures, potential future doubles as well coming up in 36 or 37. I think Lascelles is fine for a cheap 3.9 million pick. Brantford is decent. 8 Nuri is a decent shout as well. Cheap defender, 8 Nuri. There's not many great defenders really to go for, guys, if I'm being honest. The defense is pretty bad when I look at the options. I mean, you still want a Tottenham defender, I think. You'd want Porro or Udogi, depending on your budget. You'd want one of those Spurs defenders, I still think, in the long run. I'm thinking of benching Bowen for Morris, as I have Luton goals, as I hope Luton goals include him. Bowen has been flopping. Thoughts? I personally would rather play Bowen. When I look at Bowen's fixtures, I'm just gonna have a look. Who's he got this week? Newcastle. I will still play Bowen ahead of Morris. I don't see much in Morris personally. I've had him for a couple of weeks, blanked in all the double game weeks and things like that. So I'm not really keen on Morris at the moment. In terms of Bowen, I'm not keen on him either. If you can move out Bowen to like a Salah, if you can go Bowen to Salah or Bowen to Palmer or Bowen to Son, definitely do those moves and get Bowen out your team. Do, 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 do. I think as soon as this game week starts, I'm gonna hit my wildcard button. Or maybe I should wait. Because it's a Tuesday deadline for game week 31, for those that aren't aware. Just looking at game week 31, it is a Tuesday deadline. We've got 5 games on Tuesday midweek, then we've got 3 on Wednesday, and then we've got another 2 on Thursday. So a quick turnaround. We'll see if I can get out a quick wildcard video. We'll maybe have to do a wildcard video on maybe tomorrow even, or Monday. Maybe Monday, actually. We'll have to see because it's a bank holiday weekend. We'll probably have a stream up on Monday. So make sure you guys are subscribed so don't miss out any content, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you also hit that like button as well if you are enjoying the content. Because I will be on a Gaming 31 wildcard and I'll have to put a video out in terms of my plan and what I do. But yeah, there's some interesting games in Gaming 31. Arsenal at home to Luton. I think it could be a big game if you've got a different Arsenal attacker like an Odegaard or even a Havertz, someone like that. Man City have Villa, which will be a tough game. Liverpool play Sheffield, so I think Darwin is going to be popular on a wild card, depending on how he does against Brighton this week. If he gets subbed off early, we know he's going to start at Sheffield. I think he's going to be popular on a wild card. Chelsea Man United in Gaming 31 is big. West Ham Spurs as well in Gaming 31. Are leaning towards a wild card mainly because of Arsenal. I will say your team is quite good. To be fair, it's not that I'm leaning towards it because of Arsenal. I mean, there's some players that I would want as well. Like, I'm not too keen on my defense, having Doughty, Morris, even. I don't really want Morris going forward. I don't want Tony or even Watkins going forward. It's more the strikers I'd want. I'm quite happy with the way the midfield looks. Maybe not Douglas Luiz. Let's have a little quick tinker, actually. Who would I swap out on a wildcard 31? I mean, Tony wouldn't be in the team for sure. I'd go Darwin. There would be no Watkins. I'd go Haaland. I think I'll have to bring Haaland back in. I'd also have no Morris because I'd probably have Isak. I don't know if I can afford this, but Isak obviously had a double potentially in game week 37 as well because that Man United fixture to rearrange. So we know he's got a double coming up in the future. And the fixtures are also decent short term, especially when you look at long term, a lot of green fixtures in there plus a double. And he's only 12.9% owned. So Isak will probably be coming into my team. Salah, Palmer, Maddison. I probably wouldn't have Maddison. I might go with someone cheap like a Garnacho because he will have a double in the future. Douglas Luiz wouldn't be in the team either. I don't know who I'd have at this moment in time. Defense-wise, Doughty would go. I'd definitely have a Chelsea defender in there, Gusto, depending on what we hear about Reece James. If he's coming back from injury, Dubravka will have to go for Petrovic, the Chelsea goalkeeper. Zabani would go. Again, the defensive options aren't inspiring. Or maybe Lascelles, because we know Lascelles is going to have a double as well in 37. He's cheap, especially with the injuries they've got with Fabian Schär missing for the rest of the season. He's probably going to play now, and fixtures are decent on paper, plus a double to come. Lascelles, I think, will be in the team. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 changes. So I think 8 changes is enough for a wild card, especially when you consider I don't have also actually my bad. Saka. How can I forget Saka? He would come into the team. Saka will have to be in the team. He's got Luton in gaming 31. So I'd want him for that. Then Brighton, then Villa, decent fixtures. Then a double, which I'll free hit anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. So if just that 31 fixture, I wouldn't want to go without a Saka. But in terms of the fixtures after that, they're not great. And we know after 34, there's no more doubles. So Spurs, Bournemouth, Man United, Everton, it's not the easiest. But Saka's one of those players that it's quite scary to go without him. So yeah, so you look at my team to this team, I probably wouldn't have an Areola either. I'll probably go with someone like Onana, who we know will also double for Man United in going long term. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 changes to my current team. You're looking at. I could maybe make it 10 changes if I take out Taylor as well. For someone else, I don't know who I'd go for. Maybe I'll have to have Taylor actually because I've not got much money left in the bank. But as you can see, that leaves me 0.1 million in the bank, and I can have a front three of Isaac, Darwin, Haaland. I can also have Son and Salah in the same team. Palmer, Saka as well. So my team value is decent, and that is something what I'd be going for on a wildcard 31 right now, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this team on a wildcard 31. I wouldn't mind having someone different instead of Saka, like an Odegaard or even a Havertz, but I'm not sure I'd want to take that sort of risk. But the team looks good in everything else. I'm happy with the front three. Midfield 5 looks good. I think that is going to be what my midfield 5 is going to be. I think most you guys can possibly get to it. Pedro Porro, you could go Udogi to save a bit of money. We've got double Chelsea defense with Petrovic and Gusto. And yeah, Gabriel, I think I'll still keep him in the team just because, Arsenal. Just because like Arsenal's fixtures, goal threat. I mean, the fixtures aren't too great for Arsenal, really, but obviously they're on the form team. They've just won 8 games in a row. This when it gets tricky. The Arsenal's running is for me, it's the tougher running between the 3 teams going for the league. So, yeah, I think Gabriel, I'll probably just hold on to him. But you could go someone different, like a Ben White, if you like. That is it, guys. That would be something like my wildcard team. But yeah, we've not got long left. You got about 10 or 13 minutes or so before Game Week 30 comes to an end. Let me go back. Let me just check. I've done my captaincy. Yep. Salah, Son. I have a feeling I should just switch it to Son. I think I should switch my captaincy to Son, guys. Yeah. I'm going to switch it to Son. I really want to go against Son because I feel like Son's going to be more popular than Salah. Luton have so many injuries, though, Elika. Luton have a lot of injuries. I just think with Liverpool, I expect Liverpool to do well as well. Don't get me wrong, but there's Darwin there that will get chances. There's Diaz there as well. Nah, I'm thinking I'm gonna go Son. Yeah, I'm gonna go Son. You know what? I'm gonna go Son. I think I'm gonna go Son, guys. I'm just thinking Luton's defense and how bad they've been. Brighton, I know Brighton's defense hasn't been much great either, but Brighton have a decent record against Liverpool as well. Obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan, you see, so I always maybe don't back the team as much. I don't know, like in terms of FPL wise. Like I'm always try not to go captaincy on a Liverpool game, especially when a game when it's Liverpool are at home and Liverpool are very, very strong at home. So it's I feel like I can make the rank gain if I go Salah. Because if Salah goes big against Brighton, then obviously my rank I'll have a bigger rank increase. With Son, I feel like it's more safe. Possibly, I don't know. I'm leaning Son because we know Salah just coming back from injury as well. I just think as Luton have got at the bottom three, they will play much better for the last 8 games. Possibly, I think a lot of people are maybe put off as well by Spurs' last game against Fulham because how bad they were. But I just don't think they'll be that bad again. And Fulham are a decent side. Who are you on, Elika? Let me know in the chat. Would you wait till next week to bring in Salah and Cunha for the -4? No, I'd do it now, Carl. For a -4, I think Salah's worth it. I still think Salah can go big. Plus, you're going to get a double out of him in 34 anyway. Really want to go back against Son because I feel like Son's the most popular pick. I don't know. Just with Liverpool, I just think it could be anyone that scores. It could be Darwin. I expect Darwin to go big. I think if there's one Liverpool player that I think that could score a couple against Brighton is actually Darwin, not Salah. Because I think with the way Brighton play with their high line, Darwin running in behind. I think if you got Darwin, I'd be quietly confident that Darwin could have a good game. Yeah, I'm going Son, guys. Going Son, make captain, Salah vice, save. I just think Son against that Luton defense with the injuries they've got. Salah just still. The only thing about Salah, he's still just coming back from injury, guys. You have to see, Salah played 29 minutes against Man City in the last league game. Obviously he's fully fit, but he's still getting into it. And Son's more. I don't know. I'm gonna go Son. I don't know what it is, but I just have a feeling, and I'm gonna back the feeling. That's coming from a Liverpool fan as well, so I'm just gonna go Son, but I could be wrong. I've got Salah as captain. Not only is he at home, but also need to win and dominate to go to back to the top. Yeah, I of course I get that. Liverpool have to win. It's a must-win game for Liverpool in terms of the title race. But I just think Darwin could be the one that has the big game. I just think Darwin could be one that goes big instead of Salah. But look, I may be wrong. We'll have to see. I think Salah's a great pick. I don't know. It's flip of a coin. Would you start Saliba or Gabriel? I mean, probably Gabriel because maybe slightly better goal threat on corners. But again, I expect both of them obviously to concede because I do think Man City will get a goal. But you never know. It could be one of those games where it's really cagey and it's like a 0-0. Because we know both teams are going for the league. They wouldn't want to lose to each other. So it could be like a 0-0. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna go Son captain. I made my mind up. Could hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me, but I'm definitely going to captain Salah next week, though. I think when Salah has Sheffield at home, where when it's West Ham for Spurs. But who do Arsenal have next week? Or Luton, actually. Saka could be decent shout next week. Luton at home. But I think Salah against Sheffield, yeah, I'll have to go Salah. And Man City will have, having a look at Man City's fixture in 31. Man City play Aston Villa at home. So definitely next week, I'm going Salah captain against Sheffield. That's the game. I'm going to go for it. This week, I think Son is fine. In regards to Son on the wild card, I'll probably have him as well. We know Son blanks in 34, so I'm definitely going to have Son until then. And then after that, you probably want to. Son's going to have 2 double game weeks coming up against Chelsea and Man City as well. So you would want him long term as well, even though the fixes are quite tricky in 35 and 36. When Tottenham have to play Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City still. I'm quite happy to own triple Spurs this week. So Spurs could make or break my game week, essentially. Harry says, do you think Konsa will play or should I start Gabriel? I think Konsa should play. Let me have a look. Unless he's injured, which I've not heard about. I think Konsa should play. And they've got Wolves at home. So, yeah, I'd play Konsa. If he doesn't start, then you've got Gabriel to come off the bench anyway. So, should be fine there. Guys, lock your teams in. You've got 3 minutes. I'm just checking out some team news. If there's any leaks or anything. So, Salah or Son captain. So yeah, I've switched to Son, guys, just so you're aware. I was on Salah. Last couple of minutes, I've decided to change because it was 50-50 for me, but it's a tight one. It is a tough one. I've gone with Salah captain and started Morris and Doughty. Just a feeling. But good luck to you, Huss, and everyone. Yeah, that is interesting that you're starting Doughty and Morris. I'm benching both of them, so it makes sense for me to go Son captaincy because I've gone heavy on Spurs, as you can see, triple Spurs. So maybe that's too much faith in Spurs. I don't know. But I'm going to do it anyway. And we'll see, guys, because I'm expecting a big bounce back from Spurs. But Liverpool could go big as well against Brighton. Last question. Is it worth to get Tony out from -4? No, I don't think so. I don't think there is, personally. If you've got a wild card left in your pocket, you're on a wild card next week. There's no point in taking a -4 before a wild card, which is in my case. I'm keeping Tony. If there's any one striker I'd want to bring in is Darwin, really, this week. Darwin's got Brighton at home, and I think Darwin could go big. And that is it, guys. That is the deadline. Hopefully you've locked your team in. I've gone Son. That is the bust, or that's the team. You'll see. And it's locked in. Don't know how I feel about the captaincy swapping it last minute. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like I should have maybe gone Salah to be different because, especially with my rank around the 100k mark. Um, But yeah, guys, that is it from me. You'll have to tune in tomorrow, straight after the big one, after Man City v Arsenal, where we will discuss our knee-jerk reaction, where we will talk about Gaming 30 and also look ahead to Gaming 31 and discuss my wildcard as well. So do tune in. It's going to be a fantastic stream. Jordan will be back for tomorrow's stream. And we'll see how he did as well, because I believe Jordan's gone Palmer captain, which is completely different to a lot of us. So it should be interesting to see how he gets on as well. So yeah, guys, that is it from me. Thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed the content, do hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow after the Man City game. So take care and enjoy your bank holiday weekend and enjoy the Premier League.